I want to make this introduction as clear and easy as possible for anyone to understand. If you're reading the Bible, you're religious, you go to the synagogues, the Kingdom Hall, churches, mosques, whatever it is that you attend to praise our Father in heaven, prepare yourself for the information that you're about to receive because it's either the Bible is real or it's not real. It's either the Bible is a fiction fairy tale like Harry Potter or it's real. What I'm about to show you guys and share with you is going to touch your heart. Hold on there. It's going to touch your heart. And I just hope you're prepared for, like, your mind is about to be, your mind is about to be blown. Are you guys ready? Let me make sure the sound is on. Boom, boom, boom. Good to go. We're getting right into it. And we have a very lengthy video of multiple videos of this gentleman right here. Now, of course, this is not to say that it's the truth. It's not to say that this information is accurate. It's not to say that I believe everything that I'm about to present to you. What I'm saying is that it's time to start really paying attention to what we're reading. Because if the Bible is even remotely real, and if you're reading it and thinking that just because you read it, you're going to have this blessing from our Heavenly Father, which could be true. I don't know everything, but I do know that it's time to start paying attention to the reality that we're living in. After this video that I'm going to do today, I'm going to release my audiobook that I created about 10 years ago. It's called 12 Years of Indoctrination. And I'm taking a step away from politics because after watching this guy all night, I obsessed over it last night. I barely got any sleep. It's not about rabbit holes. It's about paying attention to your experience on your experience here on Earth. This is a calling from our Father in heaven. I feel compelled and I feel it's a duty and a responsibility to give you this information, present this information. And I'm not trying to sound all serious, like I said, this could be all bullshit. Or is it? Let's get into it.
Did someone capture this video of Paul Walker in between this supposed deadly car crash and going into hiding?
Well, that wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me.
No, this is now you're playing with me.
Oh, I swear to God.
You swear? Okay.
They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me.
Now, what's interesting to me is not too long after that car crash, a certain person came onto the scene and all of a sudden started directing movies. A certain person by the name of Tim Ballard. Maybe you've heard of him. He directed The Sound of Freedom. And he resembles someone an awful lot. So much so that you barely realize there are two different faces there.
Now, look, there's a lot of information that's going to be presented in this video. Not this one in particular, just my entire presentation that I'm, presenting to you in general. Don't go away because you're like, oh, this is nonsense, bro. It gets so deep and so hurtful when you find out how much we've been lied to. You don't have to believe any of this information. This isn't to say, again, these are facts, but the evidence is damning. When you go to court, the judge, all he wants to see is evidence. That's it. He doesn't want to hear your stories. He wants evidence. Telling you, take a deep breath and hold on to your seats, bro. Because this, when in the Bible, if you're a believer in our Father in the heavens, if you notice, I'm not saying God for a reason, and you're gonna see why I'm not saying God or Lord or anything like that. When you believe in our Heavenly Father and you're reading, let's say, Revelation and other books that are in the Bible, it says that Satan, Lucifer, the light bearer, one of the most powerful and beautiful angels that were created by our Creator, he's going to deceive the entire world, not some of it, not New York, not Congo, not Afghanistan, not Russia. The entire earth will be deceived. The entire earth will be deceived. Allow him to continue.
And while you can change some things easily, like a beard and even the color of the eyes, and even haircuts and nose and ear size can be manipulated, sometimes there's just too many things to catch them all. Especially those pesky little birthmarks. To there, and to there, and to there, and to there. And let's see if there's another pair. Oh, those look interesting. Let's see what we find over here. Oh, interesting. But so their faces are symmetrical and they share the exact locations of 6 different birthmarks. It's not like they have the same mannerisms or anything.
Pay attention.
Oh, in this video I showed you at the beginning, it was actually taken 2 months before he supposedly died, and it was a TMZ video, but I captured your attention, and it's a lesson that you can't believe everything you're told. Do your own research, people, and this was all for entertainment purposes anyway. I know that he perished in that one person, one car accident. God rest his soul. Now, I'm not here to manipulate you, and I have no agenda but truth, but I'm just here to show you how easy it is. Now watch the full video and realize that he wasn't anything close to talking about.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, and this is why I'm saying that you can't trust everything that you see and hear, especially on the internet, because he's calling a lot of things out. And again, the trick of, let's just say, the negative energy on earth to fool you into situations where you're just being completely deceived. You feel like you're insignificant. You feel like you're a nobody on earth. You feel like you're just a tiny speck. All right. Although this gentleman right here is speaking from the heart, from my understanding, there's a lot of things to discuss. What I don't agree with is this cross that he's wearing on his neck. That's it kind of like you see an ice wall and you're like, oh, he's on my side or his side or their side or whatever the case is, but this is very interesting that he's wearing that, although he's against the agenda of what we've been taught, right? Does that make sense? So it's like if everything we've been taught, we've been lied to, why would you wear a cross that you're not even sure if what happened, especially when it comes to the Bible? I have every reason to believe that the Bible has been manipulated. And the reason for that has a lot to do with Revelation. I can't quote scriptures off the top of my head. I can get my Bible if you want. But it does say towards the very end of Revelation, it's very clear. For all those who are manipulating these words and just creating books and putting things in or out in my words, you will be damned. To hell? I don't see our creator as being evil. So I can't see a fiery pit of hell of people just burning for eternity. That never made any sense to me. People are like, burn in hell. That's evil. Why would you want someone to do that? I would just rather them just disappear and just not exist ever. That's my opinion. But just to show you that I'm not trying to be biased and just saying, oh, I believe everything he's saying, but damn, the evidence is damning. And this is just one little video. We have a lot to go through.
The car accident.
No.
It wasn't a David off cool water?
That's all made up.
All made up. What? So you just randomly have some chick spraying you with oil?
Well, that wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me.
No, this is. Oh, now you're playing with me.
Oh, I swear to God.
You swear? Okay.
They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me.
I love this.
Because I did the campaign before.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but no, it's not even me.
So they should maybe David picked some dude trying to a knockoff Paul Walker.
Yeah, they got a guy for a better price. Kind of look like
You're cool. That was. I think his name was Johnny.
Just because that video wasn't any thought doesn't mean this isn't what you think. But do your own research, people. I'm just here to inform and entertain.
Wink, wink, huh? So check this out. Again, we have a lot to go through. So we're going to go directly to his channel. Okay. Let's just go directly to his channel because we're going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to get really weird. It's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of yous to experience. But I promise you again, stick around. It's not, okay, so this is for entertainment purposes. This is not to deceive anyone, to make you want to think like, oh yeah, it's just like, I just want you to observe the evidence and then you make your own mind up. So, dude, just hold on to your seats. So a lot of people are like, well, not a lot of people are like, I was talking to my buddy earlier. I was like, do you know what a doppelganger is? And he wasn't aware. When I found out about doppelgangers many years ago, it's like when you bump into somebody that looks like you, like almost identical, but it's almost impossible. And what's crazy is that our creator is so amazing that there are billions of people on Earth, and you're always going to find someone that is different. They may look like someone you recognize, they may act like someone you recognize, but when it just like becomes the improbability of you identifying as someone else to the T, it's just impossible. You're not going to find it. That's why we have fingerprints, right? All of our fingerprints are different, dental records are different, DNA, blood, all of that is different. You're never going to find the same person because if that was the case, then why would we take fingerprint? Why would we take fingerprints? Excuse me. When you get caught up in the court of law, they take your fingerprints for a reason. You're not going to have the same identity as someone else. It's just fucking impossible. These lab, like the, what do you call that? I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind. But when the crime scene investigators come in and they start taking, fingerprints all over the place, that's for a reason. It's not a mystery. When they find a hair follicle, it's for a reason because all of us are unique. But when you find someone that's exactly the same, there's something very strange going on. So let me elaborate really quick before we go on to, we're going to go into the presidents really quick. And I think we should do the first one. Okay, yeah. We're going to do the live presidents one. So again, if you're a believer in the Bible and you're reading it, to actually educate yourself and learn, you would understand that the fallen angels are on Earth. They're on Earth and they're not invisible. They're very visible. Okay. So it's either you believe in the Bible or not. That's the point. So if God kicked the bad angels out of, heaven, from above, where are they? They're not invisible. You can see them. They're right there. They're not omnipresent, don't get me wrong, meaning they can't be in California and New York at the same time. The only person that's or being that's omnipresent according to what we read in the Bible is our Father in heaven, the Almighty himself. But angels are not. And we have bad angels. So when you see the demons looking all scary on the screen, that's just to scare you. That's not what they look like. Angels are beautiful beings. And they were kicked out of heaven, a third of them, in fact. That's why you get the 33 and all that. And what I'm telling you right now may sound repetitive, what this gentleman is about to get into, but I didn't get that part from him. I've already known a lot of this. However, when it comes to him researching where these fallen angels are, they're on earth. They were kicked out of heaven. That's what the Bible says, the Bible that you read. And if that's not true, why are you reading the Bible? Why are you going to church? Who are you praising? What's the point? It's either the Bible is real or not. It's either there were giants on earth and still here or not. They just came out with a movie that my daughter went to go see. Goliath, David and Goliath. Goliath was a giant. It's not a fictional fairy tale. It's an actual real thing. Let's continue. It's gonna blow your mind, man.
So maybe you've seen this. And maybe
So
you've even seen this.
really quick, because I know there's a lot of lag and stuff, so forgive me. But again, it's either the Bible is real or it's not. I tell my mom this all the time because I try to explain things like this to her, but she doesn't want to hear it, and that's fine, respectfully. Some people don't want to hear it. It may be terrifying to some people. If you thought watching a scary movie like Hannibal Lecter or Leatherface or whatever is terrifying, this is quite frightening. And I respect the fact that people don't want to hear it because they don't like horror flicks. But again, if you're reading the Bible, there's nothing more terrifying than reading the Bible if you actually believe it. Because if you're just reading the Bible for a fiction fairy tale, then you're wasting your time. It's a very real thing, and it has been manipulated. But again, let's explore. Just look at those faces.
So maybe you've seen this. And maybe you've even seen this. But I guarantee you, I'm about to show you some things that ain't none of you have ever seen. If for some reason you don't know, this is Andrew Jackson, the United States 7th president, and he is on the $20 bill. And well, in case you've been living under a rock, that's Jeffrey Epstein. And well, you know who's tagged right along with him, right? Her? You know her, right? Well, I want to show you something. Because if she is linked together with him, and
Get
I
ready.
keep saying they bring their wives with them, well, I wonder if Andrew Jackson had a wife. And well, yeah, he sure did. Rachel Jackson. And do you see it? Maybe not so much in this picture when she was a little older, but what about this one? What if we compare them and put them together? Boy, their lips and their nose and their eye alignment, everything matches.
So you have to understand too, makeup, cosmetics, etc. And what's important is all this is let's say he's a lawyer. He's representing our Father in heaven. And all he's doing is bringing out evidence. It's not that it's factual, right? Because we don't know the facts. We weren't there. We're not there. We don't know what's happening. All we can do is go by like a jury, like I'm the jury, you're the jury. He's presenting evidence and information, and we are the jury. And this is only the second video.
And well, if this was the only example, I could see how you'd say you're reaching, bro. But did you see my video on how Teddy Roosevelt bears an awful similar resemblance to Robin Williams, who even played him in a movie, who's now Uncle Pappy, by the way? And how their wives looked exactly the same? That's Teddy Roosevelt's wife. That's Robin Williams' wife. Do you see that? That's the same person or entity, or maybe fallen angel, or maybe one of the women that one of the fallen angels mated with. I don't know.
Really quick, I have to keep interrupting because it's important. You know, in the Bible in Genesis and so on, it talks about the tree of life where you can live forever, right? You had um Noah lived for a quite significant time. Let's just talk about Adam, right? 900 years, 900 years. Like, think about all the food we eat, the alcohol we drink, the poison that's in all of our food. Why are we not living past a certain age? Well, it does say in the Bible as well that our Father in heaven had to shorten our lives to 125 and no longer because of just how wicked the world is. However, that's for a natural born human that's on earth. But now we're talking about the tree of life, the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden didn't disappear. And that's the Garden of Eden. That's just a place like a borough of New York City. It's still here, according to the Bible. Biblically speaking, you see what happens is that they drown us with all this information, movies, fiction. 600,000 books a year are released. And the intention of that is to confuse everyone, to just numb you to sleep. But again, what are you going to church for? Just to praise Jesus, just to praise Allah, just to praise Yahweh. It's a lot more to it. Just praising him doesn't do anything. My daughter could come into the house every day and say, I love you, daddy, but then just do whatever the fuck she wants. You know, make a mess, you know, just not even caring. Just, I love you. You know, that's not enough, especially when it comes to our Heavenly Father, our Creator on earth. So again, the tree of life is a very real thing, but we're treating the Bible like it's fiction. So what's the point? You understand? And this is the terrifying truth that people don't want to accept. We have beings around us that, dude, mm, 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 mm.
But I know one thing, they're the same. Just like these two dots are the exact same as those two dots in the exact same place, right under the eye. And if you haven't seen who those belong to, well, that's
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, who played Teddy Roosevelt. Played. And that's Teddy Roosevelt.
So people don't understand like what you're looking at right now. That's an actual picture, and this is why he says do your research and not like oh yeah, spend hours. Just like no, look up a picture of Teddy Roosevelt and look up a picture of Robin Williams, and you do realize plastic surgery is a very real thing. So they may manipulate a few things here and there, like the nose and stuff, depending on what angle you're at and the silliness and the comedy and stuff. It's really hard to accept, but you have to understand. Growing up, I always had this like energy in me, like, yo, something is not right when it comes to celebrities. How do celebrities just like come out of nowhere? They just appear out of nowhere, straight up. Boom, celebrity. It's like, Okay. And they have you chasing this dream, right? They did it to me for many years. They had me chasing a dream like you could become a rap star and do this and that. And it's just like there are people that do come from nothing and get into that status. But I truly believe that a lot of these people that do that are the reason why they die so early. Never made sense to me.
And
Think of the coincidence, bro. It's
they're not human. They can shapeshift and they can live a lot longer than you and I. And do you want to hear what Robin's co-star from Popeye said about him?
Oil opposite the late great Robin Williams as Popeye.
I loved Robin.
I was sorry when he died. But listen to what she says next.
I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, you don't think he's dead?
No.
Where do you think he is?
Shape shifting.
Yeah.
He looks real good in some forms, in other forms he doesn't.
and what you have to understand too is that this is I know it's hard to digest.
Do you see him?
Have, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him too. Right there, as Uncle.
They have to do this because that's a part of the pact. That's a part of the agreement for the fallen angels. They have to throw it in your face.
Pappy. In fact, he used to wear a little all-seeing eye necklace until I made a video about it, and now, funnily enough, he doesn't wear it anymore. But that's okay. I'm sure Robin's wife looks just like Teddy's wife, just by coincidence. Kind of like this next one I'm going to show you. Why don't we take it all the way back
Oh,
to
boy.
the first president, good old George. He wouldn't tell a lie, right? He told his dad he chopped down the cherry tree. Well, maybe that was just a lie instilled in all of us, so we gave some sort of credence to these people actually being honest. And I use the term people very loosely. Well, do you know George was married, right? Good old George and Martha Washington. Here they are together. What a handsome couple. Well, thanks to my subscriber Samantha, we noticed something. We noticed the similarities in George Washington and Glenn Close. And just a few months ago, I did a video on how Glenn is a funny name for a woman. And you might not overly see it, even though I completely do, but why don't we look at Glenn's husband?
And okay. This is gonna get weird, obviously, and I'm not asking anyone to believe this. I'm just asking you to analyze it and come to your own conclusion. But a trans is a very real thing. And transitioning from man to woman or woman to man has been going on a lot longer than we even could possibly imagine. The only reason why it's so, in our faces now is because of the internet. These people right here, they obviously knew that we would get this far in this age of social media in general. But people that are not a part of this game would have never thought in a million years that I can FaceTime you from here where I'm located and you can be in Africa in the middle of the jungle and we could talk to each other in real time within seconds. Technology is, you think about how that's possible. How is it possible?
Here he is here, David Shaw. Does he look familiar to you? What if I do that? Do you see it?
I do.
Come on. Come on. Martha Washington. Glenn Close husband, David Shaw. I mean, you can't even pretend to not see that one. Glenn Close husband, Martha Washington. Oh, but I'm not even done. Here's 25th President William McKinley. And boy, I couldn't help but notice how much he looked like Dumb and Dumber star Jeff Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Dead ringer, in fact. And their faces line up absolutely perfectly. And I also couldn't help but notice this little mark on his cheek. And boy, I wonder if
And you think about why they're stars, why they're elite. Dude, these people never have like they're gonna have problems when our creator comes down and gives them the smackdown. But these people are on Earth while billions of people are suffering, and they're living a life that they don't even understand like what a bill is to be paid, what it is to be behind on a bill. Is because they're elitist. They're elitist for a reason. They're protected. They live in elite neighborhoods. They eat elite food. The food that we eat, if you think for 1 second that Donald Trump actually eats McDonald's, he probably eats McDonald's, but the food. So, what we eat as far as McDonald's, it's not the same McDonald's that he eats. If you think for 1 second that this guy is eating the actual McDonald's, like you think he's gonna just show up to like a McDonald's in the Bronx and just have a Big Mac, you're sadly mistaken. That's just not how it works. And it's really time to start paying attention. If you have been asleep and this is waking you up, good. If this frightens you, good. You should be. But don't fear, especially if you believe in our Father, especially if you believe in our Creator, and you know that our Creator has your back no matter what. There's no coincidences on earth. I've been living for 41 years. I've been blessed in cursed ways, and I'm starting to really get it. I'm really starting to get it. Pay attention.
Jeff Daniels has that mark in the exact same spot. Oh, would you look at that? There it is. What a coincidence. And here's William McKinley and his wife, and Jeff Daniels and his wife. Let's take a closer look. Jeff Daniels' wife, William McKinley's wife. And
It's
boy,
not a
if you ask me,
coincidence.
if you just pretty that face up, and she's making a little longer face there. So let's see if the lips and nose and eyes. Yep.
It's
Oh, and
unfucking
I'm
believable.
still not done. Like Captain
And this is crazy right here. Like if you can't see this with your own eyeballs, bro, like I don't know what to tell you. Like you have to understand how these things work. And I'm not asking you to believe it. But again, if I give fingerprint if I give fingerprints to the FBI and then someone else gives fingerprints to the FBI and it matches mine, and then they bring us both into a room and they're like, you guys have identical fingerprints. It's just impossible. And when it comes to identity, again, you have to think about this. These celebrities, they're stars. They want people praising them. They thrive, like Taylor Swift, they thrive when they walk into a stadium and they feel cheer. Because who praises our Father in heaven, the Creator, the angels that want to do the right thing? They sing songs to Him, they praise Him. And that's how these fallen angels, that's what they wanted. And now they're here on earth manipulating the masses so we can run to them, get their autograph, and praise them. But you know what? Time is up. Time is up. That's why these Epstein files that are dropping right now, it's revealing all of them and no one is paying attention. And when I say no one, there are people that are paying attention, but when you put it on a scale of like billions of people and maybe 100,000 people are actually paying attention and care, that's pretty much no one is paying attention. So if you feel like you have a connection with our creator and you're not paying attention to the Epstein files and everything that's going on, all this exposure, you just can't even believe it, right? Because you love Pharrell so much, it's just like there's no way he can do that. You love Trump so much, it's like there's no way he can do that. It goes deeper. Why is it so easy and simple to understand? Because if you do pay attention to Genesis, what happened in the Garden of Eden? A simple temptation. Don't eat the forbidden fruit. And then what happens continuously throughout the Bible, even with David? What corrupts men? Sexual tension. This is the best feeling. Yo, people go to war for sex. Obviously, David sent a whole platoon just so he can have someone's wife, so he could have sexual relations with her. You think he liked her for her personality? Mm-mm. Why do That's why passion of crime of passion, a man walks in, someone's banging his wife, shoots them dead. You know? Because sex is the most gratifying thing on earth. And when you control people with that, telling you this goes deep.
America once said, I can do this all day long. And, well, I've just picked out some of the best ones. Here's President Millard Fillmore, and I just couldn't help but notice something. I just happened to notice how he and Alec Baldwin could be the same person. Because they are.
And the fallen angels, don't forget. Remember, we're talking biblically speaking here. They came down to earth because they found a woman to be beautiful. So beautiful that they came into them, in other words, I don't mean to be derogatory, but they started having sex with the woman and created all these monsters on earth because the genes didn't click too much. The angels disobeyed God for not only power, in God, I mean the Heavenly Father, for not only power, but they wanted to have sex with these women. Rape it's a crazy culture. Like that's all men and women want to do is have sex. They'll go to the ends of the earth, spend whatever kind of money. Epstein, what was that whole thing? Sex trafficking. They didn't just get traffic woman to do dishes and, clean the floors. No, it was always about sex. Sex has destroyed the world in so many ways that people can't even comprehend. You think about all the single mothers out there, the single fathers, including myself. We're just out there just swinging our dinglings back and forth. Out comes a baby, and then the baby is abandoned, and the kid grows up to be a knucklehead. Why? Because there was no structure. It's all about sex. Yeah, sex is a more important conversation and you know what's sad is that we're giving out free condoms. How about just giving education on how it can destroy your entire life by having reckless sex, sexual intercourse with anyone, having a baby with them. You have no idea the personality of that person. The wrong genes get connected, and boom, you have a corrupt world. Why? Because of sex. You can ignore that all you want, but it's the absolute truth. That, I would say, is truth.
They're not human. They're shape-shifting fallen angels who are referred to as stars in the book of Enoch. And when people say, who are they? Well, they are the fallen angels. It's not the 13 families or the yada, 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 BlackRock and Vanguard. No, it's the people you see on the TV every single day. It's no hidden hand. They put it right in plain sight and they mock that the rest of us, can't figure it out, that we're being controlled by a bunch of God-hating, deceiving, fallen angels. In my opinion, they're actually being allowed to do it because I think we're living in a time talked about in Revelation of the Bible where Satan, aka Lucifer, aka Elvis, is Donald Trump. Oh, I'll show you that one. I mean, I'm showing that all presidents used to be someone else, and funny how they have the
I want you, look, I'm not asking you to believe this. I'm asking you to open your third eye, open your mind, open your eyes, and understand we are living on Earth. I know NASA wants you to think like there's planets and other galaxies or whatever the case is, but you have to understand if you read in the Bible, that makes no sense because NASA hates God. They hate the Bible. They hate religion. NASA would never sit down, and I'm talking about the leaders, would sit down and say there is a God. They want you to think like God is so far away, if they even admit that. It's a hard pill to swallow. But pay attention to your experience on Earth. Pay attention to your experience on Earth. What are you experiencing? Throw your phone in the ocean, throw your television in the ocean, turn off the internet, and actually pay attention to what you're experiencing. And I promise you, and that's obviously theoretically speaking, pay attention.
exact same scarring right there and a million other marks. But Lucifer is allowed with his fallen angels to deceive the nations for a little while.
And the reason for that, he might say it, but I'm going to tell you because although it causes a lot of hurt and pain, and people are like, well, why would God allow pain and suffering? It's not that he's allowing it. That's our free will. If he didn't allow it, then we'll all be robots. Our creator didn't create robots. He created us to be on earth and have the free will. And you had this dipshit called Lucifer, or whatever his real name is, wanted to challenge God and say, I can do it better. And that's why it says in Revelation as well that all the tears and pain will be wiped from everyone's faces, because when I show you how to live, things will get better. I'm suffering myself as a human. I suffer, dude. It's a very painful life I'm dealing with, along with billions of other people. Okay. This has nothing to do with anxiety. It's just like when you choose to do the right thing on earth, you get the back burner. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. When you choose to do evil on earth, you get treated like a king. That's not a coincidence. That's why there's so many evil people in charge. That's why there's so many evil people in Congress and legislators, and all the people that are in charge are fucking evil. Because it's easy. It's sort of like working out, losing weight. It's not easy. It's not easy doing the right thing. It's easy doing the wrong thing and taking the wrong path. Again, it's either the Bible is real or it's not.
And I'm pretty sure it started right around the time of George Washington, right around the time of our independence, or maybe it was his independence from the bottomless pit. The chain has been broken. You know, the chain as depicted on this one in this Lucifer statue, the one that looks oh so similar to a different statue. Oh, who, by the way, who has a chain at the bottom of her ankle too, and it's broken, if you get my drift. And if the Statue of Liberty is Lucifer and it used to look like this, well, then can you connect the dots? Because they're right there to connect. And if you haven't seen my video on Walter White being Ulysses S. Grant, go watch that. Yeah, all the presidents are alive. All of them. And they're all fallen angels here to deceive. And in my opinion, when people say, what do we do about it? Well, you're being tested. God's allowing it to happen and he's testing you. And if you're falling on the wrong side, well, I'm not the one that's going to judge you. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. People,
Of course.
just doppelgangers. Doppelgangers. That's it. Or no, it's clones. It's clones. Because that makes sense. Entertainment only. Oh, and in
What were you going to
my
say? I'm sorry.
opinion, it's why they created the Big Bang and the globe and
Of
evolution
course.
to hide the fact that you're in a spiritual realm so you wouldn't realize that there were shape-shifting fallen angels living amongst us that could age reduce and get older and age reduce and get older and do it over and over and over again. You probably went to school with some. Heavy night.
And that's why I'm going to release 12 years of indoctrination, because it's about that time to re-release that audiobook and book that I released. This is important to understand what we're experiencing in our life. And I'm going to end this video here because there's so much more to go through. And this is an endless conversation, and we need to start paying attention. It's really important. We are at the end days of our civilization as far as like Earth the way it is. If again, if you've been paying attention to what you're reading in the Bible, you should already know what time it is. And if you're not paying attention, then it's time to start paying attention. We've all been lied to, and it goes a lot deeper than this. It truly does.